This summer we decided that it was finally time to replace the old gate. I installed most of the fence, so now it's time for me to drag off the bad part of the wood fence. This is one of my first woodworking projects I made. I made this in 2016. For years I enjoyed just looking at the gate, but it was finally time to take it down. So in this video I'm gonna explore what this gate meant to me and also what I'm gonna replace it with. So this is how it was. We had a wall, pillar, another wall. So in 2016 I made the gate. So one part, gate the second part, and I made a door for the walkway. So now what we had constructed this summer is pillar here, pillar here, and what I'm gonna construct here is a wire fence and a wire fence here. This is slanted because we have a walkway going so, and also what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put another temporary wire fence. Now this is also where there will be another gate, so in the future there's gonna be a gate here, and then in this spot we can park the car and the doors can open wide and it's comfortable to get in and out. So that's the basic idea. Like in this video today I'm gonna install this wire fence here, this wire fence here, and this temporary wire fence. I'll put it right here. So all this needs to be cut away into a straight line. So that's the first order of business. And I think that's gonna be more work than it seems. Alright, so this side looks to be alright. I took off a lot of the tree. It feels like I took off half of the tree. So now I'm gonna continue here on this side and remove some of this tree right here. So I had everything ready, and then I realized that the trees were so overgrown that this turned more into an episode of having fun with trees. But it wasn't long until I could actually start installing the wire fence. And maybe this was part of the reason why I had put it off for so long. And also, why wasn't my mind more on the old gate? I'm gonna cut a shallow ditch using the pick. Also, I need to monitor my temperature because it's extremely hot right now. So if it gets too hot, I need to stop working. Living in this part of the world, it seems that everything is on hard mode. I need to take a break again, mini break. I'm gonna run it one more time. What I'm after is just a couple of inches, maximum 6 inches. So I was just digging away, cutting back trees, digging trenches. All the while, the good old gate kept looking over my shoulder. And it was also a memory, because back in 2016, my dad helped me build part of this gate. And in some way, it always tied me to back home. I think I need to call it a day, because the sun is so hot and I feel like I'm overheating. So I was both pacing and outpacing myself, and I almost forgot that I live in one of the hottest places in the world. And it was kind of like a reminder that repression, it never works. Alright, it's a few days later and I'm back at it again. So the other day I really felt like the sun got the best of me, and today it looks to be pretty much the same. It's sunny, no wind, extremely high humidity. But I think I can finish the task today, because I did most of the hard stuff the other day, and this time around I'm just gonna install the wire fence, cut it to size and install it on the pillars. So that's it basically. So I will start by that pillar over there, and yeah, see how it goes. Now, the first order of business is to cut it off to the right length, so that's what I'm gonna start with. So this here is a pillar. I'm gonna put metal straps here, 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 and here. Now imagine that this is the wire fence. So quickly gonna draw it like this. What I'm gonna add to the wire fence is a thick metal strip to the end here. This thick metal strip is gonna give it rigidity. Now, next you have to imagine that these metal clamps are attached only here on this side. So then after I will move this towards here, so that by that time the thick metal strip is behind the metal clamps. After which I will attach them also on this side. So that's the basic strategy, that's what I'm gonna use, and I hope that's gonna be pretty strong. I couldn't find my handsaw, so I'm gonna try the jigsaw with a metal blade, but I doubt this is gonna work fine. I have to try it still. How about that? I'm surprised. It went, it got it like butter. Okay, so if I turn it, I can So it's 5 feet high, so that's approximately 150 centimeters. So I'm gonna try to divide it equally. So these are the markings at 10, at 50, at 100 and at 140. Now next I'm gonna make sure that it's at the middle of the pillar pretty much. So this pillar is 32 centimeters, so that's will be at 16 from this side. these are the metal strips. I'm gonna take one of them, line it up and mark where I want the holes to go. And I will make an X to make it very clear that this is the spot. Now, and the screws are pretty short, so I don't need to drill too deep. Next I'll put in these with a screw on one side using the driver. It's a bit of trial and error because I haven't put up a fence like this and not in a location like this, so this is what I came up with. Before our house was built, I had practically zero building skills, and I just started someplace. I just started with what I had laying around. I bought some tools left and right, and I just picked up some skills. And I'm always surprised at what you can build if you just use your imagination and you just get started. And that's how I started with the old gate. I made something based on my imagination, based on what I could think of, and I made it in the best way possible. And it really was a unique design, and it stood out. There was nothing quite like it. It was a hook to back home, but also it was kind of flawed because I used plywood, and in this hot climate where UV and the heat and the sun and the sea blast, it keeps hitting away at everything. Plywood only lasts for about 2 to 3 years. So that was my big flaw in the design of this gate. Okay, so I can just about keep it in place. And now driving the screws. Okay. It's a little hard with the fence on my back. And I want to turn the camera. So now I'm just gonna repeat the same process over here. Now next up I'm gonna see if it's gonna be firm, so I'm gonna pull it in place, and you can see that like this it's firm, so that means that I can take off this piece here. So I'm gonna bend it out and do the same thing I did earlier. Remove the whole thing. So I'll follow it down. So just like with the other one, it's gonna be at 10, 50, 100 and 140. Now comes the hard part, because I want it to be on the tension. So I'm going to keep it in place with one hand and try to drill in a screw with the driver with my other hand. Just can get one strip in, then the rest will be easy. That one is in, so then the rest will be easier. Okay. So I basically repeated the process on the other side using the same strategy, and it really felt good to devise a strategy, to execute it and to construct something. And you know, there might be a million wire fences out there, but this is the only one that has been put up in this exact way. Cyclone fence, Aceros de America Inc., San Juan, Puerto Rico. So that's what this was made. So after cleaning up, it was almost time to do what I had been postponing for so long, and that was to tear down the old gate. And there really was no other way around it, because the plywood that I had used in the construction, it just doesn't hold up in this climate, because it starts to rot away after 2 to 3 years. But it was uniquely mine. I really liked this gate, it really tied me back home, and it was something that I built together with my dad in 2016. I'll miss the old gate, and there will be none quite like it. Alright, I installed most of the fence, so now it's time for me to drag off the bad part of the wood fence. This is one of my first woodworking projects I made. I made this in 2016. In 2020 I had to really maintain it, because you know, the environment is pretty rough here, and you can see, like 4 years later it's bad again. So we decided to get metal gates, so we're having them built right now. So until that time, that's why I improvised something to the back here. So I'm gonna take the bad part down. The part that's still okay, I'm gonna just open that, because that part, it's not even attached to anything anymore, so it's just breaking out. Clean up time.